Thank you for joining me in our Strategies of Success WebEx series today. This WebEx is entitled Out of Time, Practical Tips and Tricks to Help You Be More Productive while wearing many hats and putting out fires on a daily basis. My name is Carolyn Parker, and I'll be presenting the information on this topic today. Should you have any questions during the presentation, please feel to submit them as you participate, and I'll answer them at the end of the presentation. You see this is a very, very long title, but I think that since all managers wear a lot of hats, there's a lot of ground to cover here, so that's why I'm going to try to cover this the best I can. Here's our disclaimer. The information provided in this training module is not intended to be legal or medical advice. It is recommended that participants not rely on this general guide in structuring or analyzing individual transactions, but that professional advice be sought in connection with any such transaction. Nothing herein is the official position of Allegiant Creighton Health. Medical office managers wear many hats. They're a human resources manager, patient and insurance account manager, personal assistant to the physicians, and researcher, learning the latest laws and reforms affecting the practice. Your job requires multitasking and time management to ensure nothing falls through the cracks. Even while you manage multiple tasks, you must sometimes focus the attention on more than one person or project. So within this WebEx, I'm going to focus on goal setting, talking about some things you may or may not know about the jobs of the employees that work with you, tools for success, technical applications that might be able to help you save and streamline some time, talking about email and how to prioritize that, staff interactions, the art of delegation, and communication within your work setting. Why is personal goal setting so important to personal time management? Well, from a time management perspective, your life is a sequence of big and small choices and decisions. It is those choices that you really manage, not the flow of time. Personal goal setting is the wisdom that comes out of a lot of practical experience and psychology research to help you direct your conscious and subconscious decisions towards successes, building up your motivation to achieve your personal and your business goals. So the first one I'm going to talk about. An effective expression of important goal setting guidelines you should remember is a set of SMART goals. What the SMART goal setting guidelines actually mean is that your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, rewarding, and timely. If you neglect any one of these guidelines, the odds is that your goal will drop many times. Why is that? Well, the key force that either drives you toward your goals or holds you back is your subconscious mind. Those goal setting guidelines are the necessary criteria for your subconscious mind to accept your goals and start working for you. Otherwise, it will work hard to keep you in the comfort zone of your present condition and old habits. So the first one I'm going to talk about is specific. With a specific goal, you can clearly see what it is that you want to achieve, and you have specific standards for that achievement. In making your goals specific, it is important that you actually write them, which is crucial in all goal-setting guidelines. The more specific your goal is, the more realistic your success will be, and the shorter path to it. When you work on making your goal specific, you program your subconscious mind to work for you. Then your feelings and thoughts will lead you to your goal instead of pointing at the obstacles. To make your goal specific, you also need to work out the other components of the SMART goal setting guidelines. So the next one I'm going to discuss is measurable. For a goal to be measurable, you need a way to measure the progress in some specific criteria that will tell you when you can stop and when the goal is achieved. Feeling the progress is very important for you to stay motivated and enjoy the process of achieving the goal. An attainable goal is a goal for which you see a realistic path to achievement and reasonable odds that you get there. This doesn't mean that you lower your aim and the more likely you reach success. It is well known that goals work best if they have a challenge in them. They are chosen as ambitious as possible, but still reachable. Then they'll give you more motivation and a sense of achievement. A goal is rewarding when you have clear reasons as to why you want to reach that goal. This is one more place where it's important that the goal is really yours. Have your specific reasons and expected reward in writing, if possible, with some visual pictures. Imagine how you're going to feel when this goal is finally reached. This will ensure that the goal is actually worth achieving. Then, every time you get stuck and don't feel motivated enough, you can read your reasons and look at the pictures. It's a well-known and very powerful and practical technique of how to get through difficult moments and not quit. So, for example, if you have a goal that you want to have your EMR implemented in process but within 6 months, writing out a timeline and having mile markers of, we're going to achieve, all our charts are going to be scanned in within 3 weeks. We're going to have everybody from our old systems, schedule on our new system within 6 weeks. You're going to have all of your documents and everything ready to go and all your timelines built, everything's done within 6 months. If you have these types of things written out on a timeline fashion, have different goals set, everybody a part of it, then it will also help everybody else within that process. The fifth requirement of the SMART goal setting guideline is your goal should have a specific time limit. This is also very important for your subconscious mind. Besides, time is the price you pay for the reward from achieving a goal. Setting the deadline will protect you from paying a higher price than the goal is worth. This is also your protection from procrastination and perfectionism. Now, the next thing I want to talk about within here is what you may or may not know. Within every job function in the office, no matter how small, contributes to the success of the entire organization. So whether you're at the front desk or if you're one of the nurses or if you're in the billing department, each role is crucial and you really need to have a general knowledge of all the different job functions. To be effective, the medical office manager has to have an understanding of these functions of their staff. Knowing the job functions of the staff is essential for the manager for training, motivating, and managing of staff. It is especially vital to the survival of a healthcare organization that the manager be fully aware of what's necessary in each job function. An organization can lose their rights to continue offering healthcare services, for example, in their company, in their community, if certain compliance requirements are not maintained. So having a broad knowledge of each function leads to leading a great team in reaching your clinic goals. If you're consistently working overtime and pushing back deadlines, if so, you might be entering burnout territory, which is a place where your job performance, career, and psyche could all suffer. Well, there are some better solutions to pump up your productivity. Changing how you approach your work, like cracking down on your Facebook or Pinterest use, and taking advantage of the tools designed to save time while you're working, could help you find more opportunities to relax. So I put some tools on here to work with your particular personality. These are online tools that you can use to help organize your life. Some managers might rave about using Taskbar or an appointment book or automatic reminders like from your iPod or Outlook calendar and other tools in Microsoft Outlook. These are some other ones that you might want to try. So I'm going to talk about things like Rescue Time, Active Words, MindMeister, Listly, Toggle, Grid Analysis, and Remember the Milk, OneNote, and Nosby. So Rescue Time. Rescue Time is a tool that runs with your Windows or Mac to watch and record how long you spend on each application or activity as you go. It also is nice because it generates an analysis of how you're using your time to help you plan more effectively for the next week. It's really kind of a nice way for you to see where and what areas are you focusing too much of your time, or that you can even it out amongst other areas that you need to get things done. It's kind of your own way to have your own checks and balances in place. And I have the website listed right here for you, www.rescuetime.com. This incredibly smart application called Active Words, it allows you to assign abbreviations to lengthy information. It's kind of like a much smarter version of the autocorrect feature on a smartphone. For example, You can customize the new active word wizard so that every time you type my zip, the application will automatically change it to your selected zip code. And here you can find it at www.activewords.com. MindMeister. Well, this cloud-based productivity tool lets you customize an easy-to-revise virtual mind map. MindMeister is best used for visual people because it's focused on goals rather than lists and orders. So if you're a list person, like I am, this may not be the thing for you. You can easily collaborate this with others on a project, even via mobile, but this one is more for people that are more visual than the people that have lists that they need to check off. Now, while MindMeister is for visual folks, this one's more for people like me that like lists. It's a great resource. It's not your ordinary to-do list, though. It's highly engaging and makes it easier to receive crowdsourced feedback. And again, here's the website you can go to check this out at www.list.ly.com. The next one is Toggle. This simple program is for those that want to keep track of how long they've been working on a project. You can try to beat your time on given tasks to improve efficiency. Plus, Toggle saves your entire project and accessible on Mac, PC, and mobile phones. Now, Grid Analysis tool is designed to help you make decisions more effectively. It allows you to list your options in a table format and then in various factors as columns. This application lets you score each option and then helps you make the best decision based on the factors that you input. Now, if you happen to be an iPhone 4S user, you're going to find this really cool app is compatible with Siri. All you have to do is say, Siri, remind you to blank, 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 and the new task will be added to you, remember the milk list. You can use this for work as well. So if there's somebody that you need to be calling back, or if you have to do something for one of your physicians, or anything you need to remember, this simple virtual to-do list is also compatible with your Outlook, Gmail, Google Calendar, BlackBerry, and Android. Now within OneNote, if this is the ultimate note taker, it's part of the Microsoft Office 2010, and it allows you to keep organized with virtual folders to file away notes. OneNote is particularly useful when you're collecting a massive amount of research. It has a drag and drop function, which also makes it very easy to stay organized. And if you ever, when I come to your office, you might notice that I usually work things from my mobile phone. This is one of the applications that I use because it actually saves you a lot of time, and it does coordinate with your computer as well. NOSB is an application that follows best-selling author David Allen's Getting Things Done philosophy, or by organizing your tasks according to the location where you perform them, whether it's at your home, office, online, etc. It also has a team-oriented task option like group message boards. Now we're going to talk about email. Well, when used appropriately, email is an incredibly useful communication tool. But many of us feel overwhelmed by the amount of mail that we receive and need to respond to. I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage your email so that you're more productive. We'll explore some strategies for doing this so that you can get on with the real work at hand. And hopefully, some of these strategies I suggest will be helpful to you. Checking your email regularly during the day can be an effective way to keep your inbox at manageable levels. However, constant interruption and distraction that comes from multitasking in this way can dramatically lower your productivity and disrupt your ability to enter a state of flow when working on high-value projects. One strategy you can use is to check your email only at set points during the day. For example, you might decide that you're only going to check your email first thing in the morning, before lunch, and at the end of the day. Here, it helps you to set your email software to receive messages only at certain times so that you're not distracted by incoming messages. If you can't do this, or at least make sure that the audible and the visual alerts are turned off. Then if you wanted to, you could also use one of those suggestions I had earlier for your notes and rescue time, for example, or you could use one of the other, like Remember the Milk could also help you that application to check your email if you wanted to take it that far. You can also reserve the time to read and respond to your emails after a long period of focused work or at the time of day when your energy and creativity are at their lowest. This means you can do higher value at work other times. If you're concerned that your colleagues or your boss or your patients will be annoyed or confused that you're not responding to their email quickly, please explain that you only check your email at certain times and that they can call you or use instant messaging if the matter is really urgent. When it comes to reading your email, you can waste hours if you don't use this time intelligently. So have a 2-minute rule in place and schedule specific time. We're going to talk about the 2-minute rule first. The 2-minute rule, which is also a concept from David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done. If the email will take less than 2 minutes, a quick read, a short answer, then take care of it right now, even if it's not a high priority. The idea behind this is that if it takes less than 2 minutes to action, then reading and storing away the to-do later takes longer than it would if you took care of it right now. For emails that will take longer than 2 minutes to read or respond to, schedule a time on your calendar, or again, you could also put it in that the milk, remember the milk application. That one's a really, really great application, again, for setting things out. It's probably one of my favorites that I listed there for you. And you can do these things later. Most email programs will allow you to highlight or flag or star messages. May not always give you a reminder to go back. Also within your Outlook feature, you could add an appointment to schedule time to go through your emails or your task lists. Many people get lots of internal notification. These are also FYI emails from maybe the doctors or from your billing manager or team members that want to keep you in the loop. If you see your name in the CC field instead of the To field, chances are it's an FYI email. Consider filing it in a To Read folder and tackle it when you have more time. I don't know about you, but I cannot imagine having an inbox with nothing in it. It really does sound too good to be true. And although a completely empty inbox, also called inbox zero, may be unrealistic for many people, keeping a main inbox cleared can keep you more organized and help eliminate your stress. It's one thing you might want to do, and it takes some time to set this up, but it really will help you later, is start by setting up a simple filing system to help you manage your email. You could use broad categories like action items, waiting, reference, and archives. If you're able to stay on top of your folders, particularly action and waiting folders, you can use them as an informal to-do list for the day. If 4 categories sound too simplistic for your needs, you can set up a more detailed system. For example, you could create a folder for that every project you're working on, have a set folder for each of your clients or each of your sales reps that come in, or one from your physicians. The advantage of creating specific folders for the processing email is that making searching for past email easier. Instead of scouring through your entire mail system, you can simply search in that particular folder. The non-essential email, if you happen to receive these emails such as newsletters, blogs, and article feeds, consider having them rerouted to another email address or use rules so that they're instantly delivered to a particular folder. This will help keep your primary inbox clear, and they'll be in one place ready to read at a convenient time. One of the best things that you can do to limit the amount of email you need to process is to encourage your team to send you less. For example, if certain team members regularly send you long, drawn-out emails, let them know. Tell them gently but firmly that because of the demand on your time, you'd appreciate emails no longer be than a paragraph or 2. Anything longer than that should really warrant a phone call or them coming to your office for a discussion. Now, talking about that, we're going to talk about staff interactions for a minute. If you're a manager, you walk a really fine line. It's important to be available to staff to address issues and offer encouragement, but you need to prevent the in-person interruptions while maintaining your role as a teamwork facilitator and an employee go-to resource. Both management techniques center on blocking time in your schedule to interact with your staff so you can put constraints on your open door policy. So we're going to talk about managing time. Creating specific time blocks to interact with your staff allows you to shut your door and focus on a greater percentage of the day so that you follow your schedule more readily. The times before and after lunch, when you're most likely between projects, are excellent for open door hours. You can also try this method of rounding. If you make the rounds, the popular preemptive tactic, managing by walking around, and puts the time control back in your domain. It suggests that by making rounds on a scheduled basis, allows you to establish your availability and deflect those interruptions that could otherwise come later. Instead of getting snagged on the way to get a cup of coffee, you can proactively seek out your staff, asking how their projects are doing, whether or not they have any concerns or issues you can help them with. Setting your rounds in the morning is a sound strategy, though it's a good idea to wait till everyone gets settled at their desks and the caffeine kicks in so they can respond to your questions with some clarity. You can also try the tactic of having them come to you. If you establish your scheduled interaction time as an open office time for staff to drop in, or require employees to make appointments to meet with you during that time. One danger in setting up specific drop-in hours is that it puts you in a state of waiting. You may not get any takers of your time, but your ability to focus on other work is more challenging because you're expecting to be interrupted at any moment. To avoid this, consider implementing a scheduled appointment hours in your office. Continue to set them aside the same time block available to your staff, but insist that they make appointments. They can't just stop in without notice. We're going to talk about delegation right now. So you can see here, even the super you needs help and support. There really is no shame for asking for help. You push aside your pride and show respect for the talent others can bring to the table. And remember, there's no such thing as a single-handed success. When you include and acknowledge all of those within your corner, you propel yourself, your teammates, and your supporters to greater heights. I am a firm believer that you are only as good as your staff members are, and that making them look good actually helps you look better as a manager. And if you work on your own, there's only a limited amount that you can do in this. However hard you work, you can only work so many hours in a day. There's only so many tasks that you can complete in these hours, and there's only so many people you can help by doing these tasks. Because the number of people you have is limited, your success can be limited. However, if you're good at your job, people will want much more than this from you. It can really lead to a real sense of pressure and work overload because you can't do everything that everyone wants. In the positive side, you'll be given a tremendous opportunity if you can find a way around this limitation. If you can realize this opportunity, you can be genuinely successful. So to figure out how to delegate properly, it is important to understand why people avoid it. Simply, people don't delegate because it takes a lot of upfront effort. You know the content inside and out. You can spew out the benefits. You can spew out all these different things together. Well, on the surface, it's easier to do it yourself than explain the strategy behind the brochure to someone else. There's two key reasons why it's probably better to delegate the task to somebody else. First of all, if you have the ability to spearhead something new, then the chances are your skills are better used to further develop the strategy, perhaps coming up with new ideas. By doing the work yourself, you're failing to make the best use of your time. Second, by meaningfully involving other people in the project, you develop those people's skills and abilities. This means the next time a similar project comes along, you can delegate the task with a high degree of confidence that it will be well done with much less involvement from you. Delegation also allows you to make the best use of your time and skills and helps other people within your clinic grow and develop from their full potential. In a meeting with a lot of employees over the years, they want to feel of value and that they're learning new tasks and skills, so this will help them too. So what are the rules when to delegate? Well, delegation is a win-win when done appropriately. However, it doesn't mean that you can delegate just anything. To determine when delegation is more appropriate, there's 5 key questions you need to ask yourself. Is there someone who has or can be given the necessary information or expertise to complete the task? Essentially, Is this task something that someone else can do, or is it critical that you do it yourself? Number 2, does a task provide an opportunity to grow and develop the other person's skills? Number 3, is this a task that will recur in a similar form in the future? Number 4, do you have enough time to delegate the job effectively? Time must be made available for adequate training, for questions and answers, for opportunities to check progress, and for rework if it's necessary. And finally, is this a task that you should delegate? Tasks critical for long-term success, for example, recruiting the right people for your team, genuinely do need your attention. If you can answer yes to at least some of the above questions, then it might be well worth you delegating this job. We're going to go on to moving on to micromanagement. Micromanaging employees can have the reverse effect of what an office manager intends. With different personalities and different job roles, each employee might have a different work style. Employees are more effective in their job functions when they feel trusted to make decisions and given the chance to be responsible for the quality of their own work. If you're providing feedback on a regular basis, employees are aware that their work is being monitored and they'll be held accountable for their productivity. The staff will be more likely to be motivated to excellence when they don't have the stress of a manager directing their every move. Trusting employees to do what they were hired to do will allow you as the manager time to focus on other areas. The bottom line is trusting employees in this way will help them be more productive and trust you more, that you have their interests best at heart. You need to establish clear expectations for each employee. Effective communication isn't just talking and listening. It means having mutual respect and understanding between staff and management. It is for the benefit of the office manager to set the tone for effective communication. Again, you need to provide really good feedback. Employees need to be given feedback on a regular basis, whether it's telling them they're doing a great job or if you're offering constructive criticism. And then finally, this is an area that is a challenge, listening. Employees can be an excellent resource for office operations. They have a first-hand knowledge of office processes or policies and get great ideas to assist in making office tasks operate more efficiently. If you really want to know how you stand as a manager to help you maybe figure out what areas that you can improve upon for retaining your staff, there is something within the Prairie Health Physician Services website. And actually, if you go within the website, under the tracking center, we have a 360 feedback evaluation that you could go to your employees and anonymously they could offer you some constructive criticism or some things that maybe they're too afraid to say to your face. It's the best for me personally, as I've managed staff, to find out from an employee what specifically are areas that I could be doing better to serve them as a manager. And sometimes employees are too afraid to come to you themselves face to face. There are some general rules and guidelines for 360 feedback evaluations because you don't want it to be a bashing event. The whole point and purpose is if you feel like you're drowning and that you have too many hats that you're wearing, you're putting out too many fires, sometimes having people tell you what they see and things that you can help them better with will help you become a better manager. Now, if you have missed this live, or if you have other people within your organization like billing office managers or other managers you feel that could benefit from this WebEx or any of the previous ones I've done, you go to the Strategy to Success. It's under the Resource Center in the MSO website, and you click on the one that you're wanting. You'll see different documents under some of them. Sometimes clinics will come back and say, hey, do you have a form on protected health information or medical records management? I put them all in here, and then also under the training tab, it actually has this WebEx recorded so that you can look at it later. I'm now opening this up to questions. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing a WebEx on PQRS, basically why you need to do it, how it needs to be done, the different steps involved, whether you're on a paper system or if you have an EMR, just all the ins and outs of it. I'm going to be giving specific examples based on specialty as well. Thank you for your time, and I'll take questions now.